never heard of. Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Folk Podcast with Ben, Morgan, and Andy.
Welcome back to Common Folk.
Right. Podcast for the people, by the people.
I got this mic in the wrong spot today. What the
Andy's
heck?
getting all prepped.
There we go.
That's right.
His voice just warming up.
This is day 2.
Busy week.
Do you run out of basketball lingo?
No. I just reuse
You just start
it.
making it up?
I have made it up before and it doesn't work.
Okay, so what? like you've just called something like random or what?
Well, no. So like you want to be kind of like original and, do different stuff and keep people engaged.
Okay.
And I'm always trying to be very cognizant of that. But it is just a basketball game, or a football game. So you can't reinvent the wheel.
Exactly.
You can't just invent language. And I was getting a little too cute one time where I was trying to rhyme with this kid's name, and his name was like Beto. And I said, Beto with a neato move.
Oh, boy.
And it was just
Doesn't
like
sound right.
deafening silence between the producers in the truck. My play-by-play guy, he like looked at me like, what the F? I'm like, never mind. so I
Not
kind
going with that.
Yeah, I just kind of try to keep it between the lines. Have fun, and
Are you like that guy for Nebraska, whatever his name is?
oh my God,
Where
nobody's
his like
that guy.
famous. Oh, it's
Kent
just
Pavelka?
yes,
Yeah.
so freaking good, Andy. You got to get there and just be like, like
He's on an
get
all-time.
so excited.
He's on an all-time heater this year, and a lot of it has to do with the team being so good.
I
Like,
know, but
so-
still, his voice is
Yeah.
killer.
Oh, he's a
and his
professional.
excitement
Yeah.
is like I could watch it all day. It makes me smile like ear to ear.
He's great. And earlier in this season, it went viral. You know how things go viral now on X or whatever. One of his audios was last second shot, Nebraska's down at home, and they dribble around, and this kid makes this off balance, crazy, like 15-foot jump shot. And if you're just listening to the radio, he just goes, and Lawrence with a blah, blah, blah. And it's like you have no idea what's happening, but just the excitement. You know he probably hit it, but it was so funny. People were like writing in and calling the station like, is Kent okay? Did he have a heart attack? Is he dead?
Yeah.
It was pretty funny. And it's a great season too. So.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Well, good. I'm glad you're getting warmed up for tonight. Who's playing tonight?
Oh, it's state, so it's all good teams.
Yeah.
Got Malcolm, north of Lincoln there. They're always really good. A lot of good. And a common theme, a lot of good families. Where brothers and sisters are on the teams.
That's cool.
And their parents are part of the coaching staff or the administration. So you're seeing a lot of that too.
Yeah.
We've already had 2 overtime games.
Nice.
Falls City Sacred Heart
I like good games
down
like
the
that.
road. Played Why Not to overtime last night. And that's 2, like, talking about coaching staffs. Those are the 2 of the, like, no one, they're in such high regard. You can make the case they're, like, 2 of the best coaches in the state, any sport.
Really?
They've been there for over 20 years, both at Why Not and Falls City Sacred Heart. And they just have programs that are just, it's kind of surprising when they don't make the state tournament between Why Not or Falls City.
Huh.
So.
What's your opinion on like the different classes of basketball? Or you say sports in general, but since we're talking about basketball, like the competitiveness, and then how people talk about like if they want their kid to go on to the next level, they've got to be in this certain class and all this kind of stuff. How do you feel about that?
Well, I feel really bad for the people that, the governing body that tries to make it and get their arms around it. Mm-hmm. I do like that there's 8 different classes and we get to have, 8 teams in the state go out as winners rather than just like an all-class championship type of a thing. Mm-hmm. That's fun. But I don't care for how the certain teams and programs basically make a mockery of it. And I mean, we've seen it in volleyball for a long time where you can make the case Class B from top to bottom is just superior to Class A. Mm-hmm. And, that's not what these classes were set up to do, is to manipulate it, and get better. I don't know. That could be its own topic.
Yeah.
And there's an old administrator. I want to get him on the pod so bad, from the Grand Island area, and he's very vocal on social media, talking about he thinks that these classes should be broke up like European soccer, where you get regulated or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah. That's the that's that program where like they're all, let's see, so like they're all in the same league. Mm-hmm. And only like whatever the number is, only like the top 10 of them are competing. And then at the end of the season, the bottom, number 9 and number 10 drop out.
Yeah.
And then number 1 and number 2 from the group that wasn't included in that gets to come up and play.
Up.
Yeah. That's what you're talking about, right?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what he's saying we need to move to. I don't know enough about that model, and I don't care for soccer, and everyone can know that. Such a prototypical American in that regard. But I'm intrigued by that, because then there's no piss and moan and whining. It's like, no, Bellevue West, you're there with Creighton Prep, you're there with Westside, you're there with Omaha Scott, and then we don't have to worry about, like, let's say Fall City Sacred Heart just dominating D1 or D2. Mm-hmm. No, you're C1 or you're Class B.
Yeah.
That's the level you're playing to.
Yeah.
And then just no arguments. Just like, if you want to tank like these NBA teams, go ahead and tank. Have a bunch of losers. Those seniors can be taught that, hey, we're sacrificing you so the kids that matter, these sophomores that are my kids, so we'll get regulated by that. Just strip it all away and get it back to some, because what's going on, and it's been going on for a long time, it just gets to be such a heated argument, and it just takes away from the game and what should matter.
But were you asking him that, or were you asking, like, I guess when you asked the question, I was thinking that you were saying, could you like get college recruited from a 8-man D2 football team?
Very much so.
Okay. Or were you not asking that?
A lot.
Like
I asked like 3 or 4 things, but that was part of it for sure.
I just, you know what I mean? That's the way I took it, is like, if you're not Class A, so many people think, then
no one gives a shit.
You're getting missed.
No one gives a shit on any level now. And a great case in point is North Dakota State football. Mm-hmm. They one weekend in the NFL, they had 3 starting quarterbacks. It might have been 4 starting quarterbacks in the league. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're not. They are moving up, but they're not in the Big Ten. They're not in the SEC, but they have more starting quarterbacks playing in the NFL than half the Big Ten schools.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a great case in point where scouts are getting so good, and Huddle, all these online services. Yeah. And the parity now is, if you want to do it, if you want to be Omaha Scott, you can do it. Pony up. There's a path, right? Pender, who won their first opening round game, they're Class C1. They played in a tournament earlier in the season, and they beat Millard North, a perennial powerhouse who's Class A.
Oh, wow.
Beat them by 10. And Millard North is also at state in Class A. So, in my mind, C1 probably shouldn't be able to knock off a state qualifier in Class A.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you just think about the mechanics of it, I mean, these schools are set up by classes by their enrollment size, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So naturally, if you have a larger enrollment, you should have more talent just by the numbers,
right?
And the team should be a better overall team. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just kind of how it works. But you're going to have kids obviously come through some of these smaller population schools that are just all-stars.
Yeah.
And then they're going to influence the rest of the kids on the team and so on and so forth. And any scout or college recruiter or whatever that's smart would definitely be looking at these schools, because to me it's not the fact that a kid is so good is not because let's just take this area, because he grew up in Omaha versus Plattsmouth. Right, that doesn't make him better just because he grew up in Omaha. Mm-hmm. They're the same, they're at the same. They're the same people to start with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So as a scout, you could look at that kid in a Class B and a Class C, whatever, and see the potential and know what you can do with that kid. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean,
I feel like we saw that last year. I think one of the Nebraska coaches came to a C1 game because there's some big wig kid that was awesome, and I don't know if he made it or what, but it was like, oh yeah, coach
Yeah.
came. So, I mean, it makes sense. I think they're starting to come to smaller colleges because there is still talent.
I think
Right.
it's always
Always been a thing?
I think it's always been a thing, and I think just the louder people have done a good job of
Right.
making people think that here's what you have to do.
And it's pretty easy to be loud now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, I'm not picking on Pender at all, and they are to a certain extent that team that just has really good players that are talented, generational type talent. But they also are bringing kids in from their surrounding areas
Yeah.
that probably would be going to a different school. So there's a little bit of that too. As far as getting recruited, it's a weird time where AAU matters more now than your high school team in a lot of regards. So when you're talking about well, is that kid in Class D1 or Class B as good as Class A kids? Well, you know that because they've been playing AAU ball the last 4 summers. And that's usually, especially when you get out like in central Nebraska, that select team, they're taking 2 or 3 of the best from all the surrounding programs
Yeah.
that really give a darn about their athletics.
What we're
So-
seeing around here, I feel like a lot is UTAN stepping it up because they're
my
dang
God.
close to Elkhorn, and
They are
you ain't
so
Class
good.
A.
They're
But
so
guess
good.
what? You can go be a big star, but you actually could be a big star in Elkhorn,
Are
but
you-
you're trying to just be smaller.
Are you throwing some shade at Benjamin Button?
I mean, I'm just saying it's a thing. Like we play them, and they're not in our conference, but like they
so
are
good.
killer.
They are.
They're not dumb. They got space to grow.
Mm-hmm.
And these Elkhorn kids, Elkhorn's growing,
Yeah.
but they live in Elkhorn, but you can go to UTAN.
Yeah.
And they're nice kids. Like
Yep.
it's a great program. It's smart. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's fair, but
Yeah, that's just it.
Yeah.
It's not. Look at Waverly, Gretna,
Yeah.
all these schools that just pilfer off the top of great Omaha kids or
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln kids, Norris,
oh yeah.
And I don't want to take anything away from these because these are programs that care. These are schools that care. They're great kids.
Yeah.
I love going to cover their games. Fantastic coaches, too. But there is the fact that,
Yeah.
they're kind of skating by the system a little bit or through it. I don't mean to call anybody out, but there's a gal. Her last name is Benjamin. She's a senior this year, and she's a great player. She's like a 5'5" guard.
Oh, I don't know.
And 2 years ago, she played for UTAN, won a state title. Last year, played for Scott, and whatever happened, now she transferred back to UTAN. So it's like
Shocker.
this is Nebraska girls basketball. Yeah. And now we're talking about it like it's D1 football in the
Right,
SEC.
right,
It's
right,
just
right,
it
yeah.
is it's
Just that school jumping,
Wow.
man. Ugh.
Dude, we could talk about that forever.
Yeah.
God, people jumping around like that. It's wild. So anyway, yeah, that's not really what we came here to talk about today, but it's interesting.
Well, Andy's getting his voice ready, and then we just get on sports topics, and he's our sports guy, so
Yeah,
it happens.
yeah.
it
but
does mirror what's going on though.
Yeah.
oh,
no, it
for
does.
sure, and
Yeah.
and the timing of it
Mm-hmm.
with all the basketball and stuff. So, what do you got for us?
So
though?
anyway, yeah, if you if you pay close attention to podcasts, last week we were at the Farmer to Farmer show in Omaha. Andy and I recorded a bunch of interviews. Got to talk to Millennial Farmer. Got to talk to a bunch of other people. Some interesting stuff in ag. Got to talk to Charles, one of the founders of FBN. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
Neat seeing a lot of things out there in ag and check them out if you're in farming and you don't know what FBN is. Definitely look it up.
And I left there both days thinking, man, I wish we would have interviewed this guy. I wish we would have
Yeah.
interviewed that gal. You get to talking to people, and there's just everybody had something kind of neat or cool to kind of bring to the table.
Yeah.
We didn't talk to Andy Clean.
Right, yeah.
How long did we talk to
Yeah.
him? It was like, oh yeah, we're gonna get
Right,
you. We're
yeah,
gonna
he
get
didn't
you.
make it over, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a smaller, more intimate event, and like you see over the course of 3 days, you see the same people 10, 20 times. Where when you go to like some of these big farm shows, you might see that person once.
Yeah.
So you really get the opportunity to have conversations and get a little bit more under the surface, which is neat. Morgan was, you were at home. You were just lamed up at home, so you didn't go to the show.
Yeah, I'm just a big old loser, lamed up.
I mean, I didn't say that, but
Hey,
No, I'm just recovering,
You're
guys,
recovering, so you got to.
from
So
a pretty big surgery. I don't know if it's big. It's a hip surgery. It is what it is.
sounds big to me.
So you made it into the studio today.
Oh, yeah, I don't. The good thing there's not cameras on. I mean, still barely look alive.
Did
Barely seen the sun. I mean, this white skin is...
So you've been Netflixing a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, Netflix is burning up, man.
Yeah.
Oh, stop.
Yeah.
Like, you even know.
Like at Netflix headquarters, they're like, "What the hell is going on
Listen,
down
we got
there?"
the surge out of Nebraska.
Listen, I got a lot of shows that I've been watching, and it's not just on Netflix. Peacock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, oh my God.
They have a
they're-
new show. It's
yeah.
called The Traders. So
Wow.
good.
Okay.
And I've been catching up on The Chosen, which that has 5 seasons, like 10 episodes in a season.
Is
I
that
only
like-
have 5 left.
What's the
about
premise?
Jesus.
Oh,
in the Bible.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
Oh, it's so
chosen,
good.
like they take 100 people, like you're the 100 that get to make it in today's society.
No,
like, you're the
no, no,
chosen.
no.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. Oh my gosh, just I've started some series and then I've like lost interest, and I'm episode 3 in. I'm like, that sucks. So you just quit.
So have you taken 90 minutes to watch Demon Hunters? You got to do this. You have to do this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I
You
might
even have
just
an
for you,
excuse now.
Andy.
Yeah.
But I've been reading, been doing my Bible study. You know, doing I'm not quilting or sewing or anything. I'm not that.
I told you early on you
know.
should.
Anyways.
Do something constructive.
Well, and I threw another one at you guys that I thought you would just go home and watch or even buy.
What?
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh yeah.
Oh shoot!
Yeah.
I'm gonna text myself.
You're not gonna
Demon Hunters.
You're not gonna watch that by yourself though.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Reservoir Dogs,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a through and through Quentin Tarantino.
Oh, yes,
movie.
we
Like, when
talked
you
about
think of
that.
how
Yeah. Okay.
how
She absolutely hates Django.
she does.
Yes.
Oh, it makes me angry.
Like
I
when even when
hate
it's
it.
on even when it's on the TV guide, she's like, "Oh, you better not turn that on."
That's
Really?
like literally my only show. It makes me infuriated.
It's so crazy because I love
about
it.
the
Yeah, that's-
about the slaves and the abuse. Oh, it just cringes.
Oh, you just
me.
don't like to watch the raw truth that he puts in your face.
Right,
it's
right.
absolutely disgusting.
But also in the end they win.
But it makes me so
Like
angry.
they like Django, Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
He like prevails. Like he in the end he's the hero.
That is one thing.
But to
with-
get there takes forever, and my brain and body feels exhausted.
Yeah, so then you will not want to watch Reservoir Dogs.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Because like
Oh,
it
no.
takes a while to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, it's all built up, like the whole story's in her.
Okay, so maybe Ben watches it first. I don't think there is a movie I hate more than that.
I know, and it's so it's so bad because when I see it, you don't see it on the on a TV guide or whatever very often. So when
Right.
it pops up, it's like, oh, Django, yeah, let me watch that.
And-
Nope, I'd have to be home alone. I need to have hip surgery in order to watch Django.
Stop. You can put your headphones in the Roku remote.
You can go in the corner and watch it if you want.
right.
That didn't even get any recognition on a national scale because of what Morgan's talking about. And people are just uncomfortable, don't want to see it, don't want to think about it. And I think Quentin Tarantino just lives for that. He loves that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, as far as just being raw and in your face and like, no, this is what.
Like, I
This is
know
part
that
of our
that
history.
happened.
Right.
I just don't want to know it that well.
It's still happening.
Right. Oh, I agree.
So-
But
Yeah. That's yeah.
And-
Well, that's kind of a good segue into what we're talking about, like what we want to talk about today. The things that go on that for most people are better off out of sight, out of mind. And that's exactly what's going on right now.
Oh, for sure.
Essentially, with what we want to talk about today, which is this whole war thing. I don't know that I really
What's the name of
want,
it
I don't
again?
know that I really want to talk about it, but we kind of have to because it's like this is what's going on right now.
Operation
and we need
Fury?
to address it.
Is that what it's called?
It's
Operation
called
Fury?
Epic Fury.
Fury.
God dang, he is
So,
good with the,
I
he's good with the
know.
one-liners.
Okay, so I just background. I'm not a big person that knows a lot about war and all that. If people listen to the Epstein one, I am up on that and like celebrity, whatever. That's more interesting to me. I think it's because I'm a little bit directionally challenged. I'm not sure where all the countries are. Didn't do very good in history. It's not that interesting to me.
Okay.
But this anyways, with sitting a lot, we've had the news on a lot, and I heard the name, and I'm like, what? That's the name? Ben's like, yeah, a few days ago he named it that. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I'm behind.
So let's just begin. This is problem number one for me with our current state of how we do things and with war in general. There was a marketing team that sat around for a week or two and figured out, what are we going to call this thing?
When Fox and Friends were talking about how cool the name was, I'm like, shut the F up.
Yeah.
That just makes me sick. It really does.
That, and we'll probably bounce around a little bit here, but exactly how I felt when they were bragging about the torpedo that was launched at the Iranian naval ship, the torpedo that was launched from our submarine, and how they're like, oh, this was so cool. This was the first time a torpedo has been used since World War II. Yeah. And there was like people on the news that are like, man, that's impressive. And I'm like, dude, what?
Yeah. And then they go into like 84 have died, 34 injured.
Like, I'm not saying that ship didn't need to go down. I don't know if it did or didn't. I'm not directly involved in making the decisions. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is what are you doing? Like, why are you bragging about? Why do you think this is cool?
Yeah, we're celebrating loss of life and destruction.
Yeah,
is kind of how it comes across.
Yeah,
right?
It's just wild. And then back to the Epic Fury thing. It's like, this is such a cool name. You're like, this is what we're gonna call it. This is gonna be an Epic Fury. The word epic to me has been a problem for a couple of years.
I think we've talked about this. It's so outplayed.
Oh my God.
Everything is epic.
Extreme.
And this was a couple of years
with
ago.
An X, spelled with an X.
Yes.
I can't believe they didn't use that. Extreme spelled with an X somewhere in there. Extreme Epic Fury.
Extreme peace.
Yeah. I mean, like, dude, that, first of all, that word is owned essentially in my mind by like the skater and surfboarder community.
Okay, so it's a word that shouldn't be used for.
I mean, it's just like
for war.
Dude, this is so epic. Whoa, yeah, look at that trick you just did, bro. That's epic.
That's like, so 1990s.
And that's what we're gonna call a war now. The Epic Fury. And we're just bringing the fury on you. I just don't get it, man. I don't get it.
A little too on the nose, isn't like really?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. That's problem number one I have with it. But getting into this, I guess what are we doing? So this is being called a war. I guess it's a war. Like what?
We already did the 12-day war, right, with Iran.
We've done so many things that I don't know how anybody knows what's what.
Well, he said we're just getting started.
And
that's what Trump said this morning.
And like Morgan said earlier, most people don't even know what the difference is in Iraq and Iran or where they're located or any of this. When Desert Storm went down when we were younger, I specifically remember, I think was it Alan Jackson? It was Alan Jackson or Toby Keith? I think it was Alan Jackson.
Because of his song.
Wrote a song.
Yes.
And in the lyrics, he said that he didn't know the difference between Iraq and Iran.
Oh, come on. Alan Jackson and Toby Keith both came out with songs right after 9/11, and that's the song you're quoting there.
Yeah. Okay,
Iraq and 9/11, don't know the difference. Shut the fuck up. That too right there. That right there. Those country music stars are profiting off of war.
Yeah,
I get it.
Sure.
And
it's a machine.
It is. It is a machine. and I love Toby Keith, and I really like Alan Jackson and all his songs. But you can't deny the fact that and Alan Jackson for the longest time. That was his closing bit. Was that Iraq song or the 9/11 song? Yeah. I don't know, and you got to write about what moves you and this and that. Yeah. But man, I just felt like we were talking about Operation Fury being on the nose. And in Toby Keith, like that song, I love that song, but it's like a joke to me. You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
You put a boot in your ass. Yeah. You must obey. Yeah. I mean, that's drinking a Budweiser, lighting a.
That's a 4th of July song.
Exactly, a bottle rocket from your hand.
Yeah.
You know, I got to be about 5 beers deep. And a little risque with my firecrackers, to be in the right frame of mind. That's not a wave the flag and good God, Lady Liberty.
Yeah,
no, come on.
Yeah, it's wild. What when it comes to war, like they're calling this war. First of all, did anybody not see this coming when the current president that we have comes in, the current Secretary of Defense, now called the Secretary of War,
Oh yeah, that's
called
right.
himself.
Renamed.
I mean, that started a while ago. I went online. I've never gone on this website. I just Google searched, like, what are the current stats of Operation Epic Fury? The government website is actually war.gov.
Oh.
That's fitting. I mean,
Well, it makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean-
When I just don't understand. When did war start being like a thing to be proud of?
Oh.
And to put out there, like,
since day one, Ben, where have you been?
Like,
we wouldn't.
apparently,
Oh, see,
yeah.
I would argue that because I always felt like it was
about?
not a cool thing.
Our nation, we wouldn't even have a nation if it wasn't for war. If we wouldn't uprise and sent those frickin' redcoats back to where they belong and not representing us and taxing us. So, like, we were founded on war. And out of our 250-year history, we've been at war for just over 200 years. So we've only had like 50 years or 40 years of peace. I'm off on that, but I'm where I'm
it's
going.
gonna be something close to that. Yeah.
It's like that. So, like, it's just, and all nations, no matter what, all empires, nations, read a book.
Right.
War is what, unfortunately, keeps the peace. And I mean, I wish we would focus on ourselves a little bit more, but I don't know. Then we get pulled in all these different directions. Here's the dichotomy that with this current thing where I just don't know. I don't know where to go with it. I don't know how I feel exactly. And it just reminds me like a novel from Tolkien or something where evil gets to be so big it just kind of eats itself and defeats itself. And here's where I'll go with it from a United States American type of perspective where, Ben, I know you have a lot of issues with Operation Fury and the marketing campaign and all the bullshit. I just saw a thing, and I'm sure there's a lot of truth behind it, where a big reason why we had to start this thing up and take out the supreme leader was because Iraq and Iran and Saudi Arabia started doing some peace negotiations. We can't have that. We need to be the first player in line as far as who you're going to be cutting deals with oil. Oil and money, you could say, is our number one issue, our thing that we're trying to accomplish here by taking out the supreme leader. But you cannot argue that this is a very good thing for human rights, for women rights in the Middle East, especially in Iran. Women can now show their face. Women can now wear a swimsuit without getting murdered publicly. Gay people do not get thrown off buildings now. I think all these things are very good, and that's what I'm talking about. That is such a big plus that all these other things that I'm sure is going on and I know is the trigger that made us get into this war, that hails into comparison to the net positive of these evil forces being put in their place. And God damn it, that's why America is what it is.
Okay, but let me ask you.
They might be fake tits, but they're hot.
Okay, but let me ask you
it.
this. Just because the one guy, whatever his name is dead after 46 years of being a dictator, does he not have a whole line of people that's going to take over?
Right now it's kind of tough because
that's what's
right
like
away,
I don't understand. So now women are in the streets showing their boobs
And
and
that's
because of one man? Get out of here.
they had his predecessor stepped up and took the reins. He got murdered within a few hours.
Okay,
But,
so then
the thing is
they have a line of 20.
We've already learned this. We've already seen what happened in Afghanistan. We've already seen what happened in all these other countries. We go in and occupy these places for 10 years or 20 years or whatever it is and change everything and leave, and in a matter of months, it's back to the way it was before we got there.
Yeah,
it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
It's always going to come back. You can't change who these people are. You know, that's always going to be there.
Yeah, but we are going to instill, and I'm sounding so pompous and everything, but we are going to put in a government that's more pro doing it the right way, doing it our way. And for a time, peace will prevail, and women and minorities will have rights. And that's where people, I think, will change and can
You think
change.
it will stick, though? I think that's good. But I mean, again,
Iran
back
used to be so awesome in the 60s and 70s, and I'm sure you've seen those videos of progressive women that were at the universities being professors. And then, like you said, some people pulled out, backed out, and opened the door for this regime to take hold. And that, too, was probably a lot had to do with America being like, well, if the Shah's not going to do what we want, and he's cutting deals over here, then fine, let him get executed. We just got to make sure that this guy that's chanting death to America will still get us our crude oil for the price we want. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of that. And I know I'm just oversimplifying this, but that's the big picture that I'm looking at. Like, there's a part of me that's just sick. We're just doing this for freaking oil and money and profit, and it's only going to benefit like 900 people, really, you know?
Right.
But as the big picture, this is a very, very good move. And we've all seen the memes and the pictures where there are women in Iran celebrating their new freedoms, and there's women in America protesting against it. Like, what a weird world, man. Like, there's a lot going on. So, and I don't know how to compartmentalize that.
And it's hard to believe even half of what you see.
Yeah.
You know, like you see the videos of these girls like running around the streets throwing their head coverings in a burn pit and dancing around. Like, did that really happen?
Right.
I mean, I don't
true.
know.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what to believe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and what I guess I keep thinking about and somewhat hung up seeing some videos. I mean, not everyone, a lot of people are saying we are owned by Israel, USA. So, like, where does that come into play? So then we're just the puppet for them?
I want to debunk
can we
that a
address
little
that?
bit. Yeah, I'll address that.
Because, I mean, do they have us by the balls or what?
Oh, Benny Boy's been saying it for a long, long time. They can make a nuclear bomb. Iran's going to make a nuclear. We've ignored that for a very, very long time. So don't think that now all of a sudden the 300 millionth time he said we need to go bomb Iran because they can make a nuclear warhead. He's been saying that since the 70s. You can watch a time-lapse video of him saying the exact same stupid line. You want to talk about marketing campaigns and zingers and one-liners. Just Benjamin Yahoo telling me that Iran can make nuclear weapons. So I do not buy in its entirety that Israel said, you need to bomb them right now or let us bomb them right now because they can make a nuclear warhead. Like, that's part of it, I'm sure. But that's like all this. Like, there's so much more going on.
Yeah, and I just
what do
don't,
you believe?
Right, what do you believe? And I just don't like that we're not being told the whole story. Like, I understand that there's probably some things that need to be kept secret for like defense reasons and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But when we're being told, it feels like right now, every day or every other day, a different reason why
I asked you that.
We're in there
like,
doing it.
Why are we actually doing that? And you're like, it just keeps changing every day. It's like, what is the real reason? What did they say made us decide to go there? And then the next day it's something else.
I am sure there's a number
ridiculous.
of reasons, but then why come out in the beginning and say, this is why we're doing this, when there's also 10 other reasons, and then wait for the opportune times when the other reasons
don't work
need to come in and need to be said so that you can keep your narrative going.
It is a narrative and it is a marketing campaign, and by my understanding, and I bet I'm way off, and there's good luck trying to keep on top of all of it, because there's so many things that are being said and that happen just at breakneck speeds. But Iran had crossed the line X amount of times, and even back in 2016, you can't deny that they're funding people like Hezbollah, organizations like Hezbollah. And that's another thing. Like, that's going to go away now. All that funding, it'll come back or some way, whatever. You know, I'm sure.
Well, and where they get, I mean, God, you could go into so many weeds. Like, where are they getting the money to fund organizations like Hezbollah?
Ask Sean Ryan.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is all.
Yeah.
But per Trump, this will be only 5 to 6 weeks. So, really?
So, anyway, they crossed the line one too many times. And rather than a weak leader saying, don't, stop, I mean it this time, Trump said during his campaign, I'll bomb the shit out of them. I mean it. I don't care.
But he's also said
tip to his
talking about when things like that had happened, when we've done that to other countries. He's also talked about how stupid of a decision that was, by former presidents and so on and so forth.
No doubt.
There's something else going on.
Yeah.
That's not being obviously told to us up front. And I don't know for sure if overall it's in our best interest. I think as Americans.
I think a lot of it has to do with the negotiations that Iran was in with other key players on the global scale, and we're like, we can't have that. We can't have them making this deal or making peace over here. We can't do that. It's time for us to disrupt this and hopefully get a regime change in there that we can. Unfortunately, I think that's where it is.
I don't think there's any doubt that they call him the supreme leader or whatever, was a bad dude and needed to go away.
Yeah.
Okay. But we also apparently made that decision in Venezuela and went in 20 minutes and took the dude, and that was it. Why wouldn't we do that there? I understand that there's things that I don't understand about about warfare and about that stage and all that kind of thing, but that's what we did in Venezuela. I mean, if there's one bad guy,
wasn't that pretty much what we did in Iran? I mean,
we are decimating that place.
We knew that group of a-holes were in that compound, and so we're like, fine, Israel, let it rip, and they flattened that place.
But it hasn't stopped.
He didn't.
We didn't just go in and take that dude out and then be done. I mean, it's
bombing
still going
schools.
on.
Iran,
and I think that was an accident apparently, but
Iran's more than a one-trick pony than Venezuela. They actually have a military. They've been around. They were a flourishing nation at one point in the 70s before, in my estimation. I would love to hear someone give me the pro-Muslim. This oppression's a good thing. This is how we should run a nation.
Yeah.
And I would go in that with the most open mind I possibly could. But when you're talking about if someone shows their face, we have a legal right to stone them to death. I got to cut you off.
Right,
I'm not going to listen to your bullshit. I'm just going to keep circling back to, okay, so it's all right to throw a homosexual off a building, right? That's written into this law here. That's okay? Because if you can't get by that, then it's tough for me to listen to any of the other diplomacy but look at our math grades. No, your math grades are shit too. So I'll just keep going back to this net positive is so much bigger and better to me. And war is gross. It's evil. I hate it.
I mean, you don't think any of this is linked or you don't think, I hate to keep going back to the Epstein stuff, but don't you think some of these foreign leaders were in on this too? Don't you think any of this could have anything to do with each other?
I think a lot. I do. Anymore, almost, it feels
all
like
intertwined.
Everything has something to do with everything. It's nothing is separate anymore. It's all interweaved. There's something is interweaved there. And man, the conspiracy theories have just gotten wild.
Oh
my gosh!
Yeah.
You said this years ago, and now they're all facts.
No, they did not all come true. I mean, a lot of them did, but not all of them. There's been a lot of crazy stuff, and right now, I mean, the stuff that they're talking about. I mean,
what?
Some of it,
Which
you
one?
you listen to some of it, and you're like, I guess that could be true, but as an example, someone said. That one of our former presidents had taken all of the all the data, all the Epstein data or whatever, and took it and hid it in Iran. And it's now it's on their servers over there or
so
something like that.
Get it?
Yeah, we had to annihilate it because that couldn't come back out.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean it's just things like that. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
It's a good place to hide it.
Right. But also, if that was true, then that means that at some point in the not too far past, we apparently had such a good relationship
with someone
with the
there.
leadership there that we were
Oh
able
my
that
God.
they were willing to store our deepest, darkest secrets. I mean, because if they had that, wouldn't they just release it?
You're being an idiot now. You're thinking one step further. You're being an extremist. You're being an extremist. I know. Like, that's just real obvious. Like, take the next step. One of my favorite guys out there right now, that JP Sears.
I don't know who that is.
He's a funny comedian. And he has a show called We Lie to You News.
Oh God.
So it's all kind of.
Oh, is that redheaded guy? Oh, he's hilarious, man. Yeah.
He ended his last
Yeah.
news broadcast with, and I guess Jim Carrey was taken to Epstein Island, murdered, and then they took his face off and sewed it on this guy. Why not? Okay, that makes as much sense to me as anything else. See ya.
Right.
But speaking of the Jim Carrey thing, remember how you said, "Oh, that guy came out and said he whatever." No, like Jim Carrey's team literally said that was him getting the award. I know you cannot keep up with this shit.
No, you can't
Like,
keep up,
you
and
cannot,
I
and
don't.
it's like
I can't
smoke and
believe
mirrors,
half of
smoke
what
and
I hear.
mirrors. Yeah,
Yeah.
they just
mean,
want to distract.
We talked about this a couple podcast
That's why
episodes ago. We've gotten to the point, and I got to the point where I trust social media influencers more than I trust the mainstream media, and rightfully so. Right? That's what they've
Yes,
caused
absolutely.
that. But it's gotten to the point now where I'm losing my faith in social media influencers because they are all just regurgitating the same shit. Every time something new pops up, they're all over it. Oh, this is happening now, and that's happening now. It's all a bunch of clickbait bullshit. I don't feel like they're. It was that they were sharing what they truly believed and what they truly saw.
Yeah.
Now it's gotten to the point where a lot of them are just sharing whatever the hottest topic is, so that more people will click on it because they're all competing with each other.
Yeah,
now.
you gotta unfortunately, especially on YouTube, which I spend way too much time on YouTube posting and trying to figure out what gets views, what doesn't. You know, because I manage a couple of channels, and you gotta. The unfortunate truth is you got to play that game a little bit. You got to have those titles and thumbnails be a little clickbaity. Because go back to this.
But you have
if you
to-
don't get that click, you won't have any influence.
And that's what I was about to say. So go back to what the motivation is.
Yeah.
So is the motivation for your platform that you get paid by YouTube and that you just get bigger and bigger and bigger, or is the motivation of your platform that you just want to get truth out? Because if you just want to get truth out, then you're willing to sacrifice the views and the subscriptions and
but then you don't have the influence. Then
yeah, but
nobody knows what you're saying.
But eventually it'll come back around. That's the thing, is like once people start, and that's what happened with these people to begin with, is once people start realizing that's where the truth is, then it doesn't matter when they get shadow banned and whatever else, because people then go search for them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And there's a lot more platforms now, but they're having a tough time making it where you can speak your mind or say something that's not popular with the right, say something that's not popular with the left, like Rumble, things like that. Patreon is a good one. But even Patreon and Rumble, you got to get noticed on these mega platforms before you even know to look for them. So no matter what, you got to play that game a little bit. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not going to bat for it. I'm just telling you the reality.
Yeah.
Right, but don't worry. Like someone that's at the shooting in Austin can videotape people that are literally dead on the ground, and everybody sees that. But that gets sent out to everybody. But don't worry about that. So then our kids can think that that's normal.
It's normal.
We get to see dead, literal bodies.
That was a
This is
wild
not
video.
AI. It was like so scary
That video
to see.
looked like it was AI just because it had such crazy elements in it. Did you see that?
No, but
Oh my gosh, Andy.
Charlie Kirk looked fake to me. Like that was insane.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on. That was. He's alive.
Why not? Why not?
They're all alive.
Sure. I did see AI is getting pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
I saw a short video, like a little movie trailer type thing of Charlie Kirk and Epstein kicking the door in on a party. Cash Patel like drops his drink. Like it was,
Oh, gosh.
it was crazy. Bill Clinton gets these big old bug eyes. Like, oh my God, they're back.
He's wearing a dress.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So LeBron had to wear a dress too. So
Man. Yeah. I don't know. That's I guess the social media influencer piece of this. But back to the war. Again, war. Like, what is war? What has been one of the things I want to talk about is like, what's been your experience or our experience with war? Like what do you remember like as a kid, or what do you remember being like your first experience with it or
literally
feeling
remember.
about it?
Yeah. I remember the Gulf War.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was coming out of gymnastics class. I had to have been
Yeah.
3rd grade, 4th grade, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And just hearing it on the radio. We were like in the van and my mom's driving. And it's like, okay, this is serious. Shh, we got to hear this, and turn it up. And just silence going home. Obviously, everyone remembers 9/11, but that as a kid, like that far back of a memory is crazy. So you just always kind of wonder
Like
what.
no social media. It was
No,
only
it was literally the radio.
It was a
Just-
radio or TV.
Yep.
It wasn't streaming TV. You couldn't
Yeah.
pull up the news anytime you wanted. You'd have to be watching it at a certain time.
in the van.
Or
yeah.
it took over the airwaves
Yep.
for 24/7. If you turned the TV on, you'd be seeing it,
Yeah.
live coverage, all this kind of stuff.
There's not a
I feel like,
goddamn
was there a-
death counter ticker
Yeah.
at the bottom like
Yeah.
it was for the Iraq War.
Right. I don't remember if there was like a tone or a beep like before the news thing came on, but for some reason my head is going to that. I don't know. Do you guys remember that? Like,
I don't remember.
okay. Like,
What about like Andy with you? I mean, your dad was in the Air Force, right?
Yeah. So we obviously paid attention, and I just have one memory where, and it's by purpose, like what you're talking about, the marketing campaigns and stuff. I said something about this guy getting a medal, Purple Heart, and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. Said something like that. I was really little, and Dad said, no, don't ever envy anybody that went to war. I'm like, what are you talking about? These guys are heroes and they're really cool. And honest to God, I had for that Christmas, I got Leonardo Desert Storm, the Ninja Turtle toy, and Shane actually got the Raphael Desert Storm Jeep with all these cannons and fun toys. And it's like,
Dude, that's wild when you think about
Holy
that. Yeah,
shit.
like the
we're
toy
just-
makers are manufacturing.
did you have that?
and I was trying to tell Dad,
I think I did. I kind of remember the Ninja, like the brown Ninja Turtle, like the desert sand color Ninja Turtle.
And he had on his,
Really?
yeah. So I'm like, Dad, I couldn't articulate. I still can't. I'm like, Dad, I'm just doing what every little American should, and I love war, and I got my Leonardo toy here, and we're killing brown people, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't know why. I didn't know why we're at war.
But he told you not to love war.
Yeah, and I don't love war, but that's not what this video game industry, EA Sports,
Yeah,
and
true.
Call of Duty and all this other shit. So, and that's God damn it, I just kind of lucked out and had a really good father figure.
Right. He was keeping your head on straight about it.
Yeah, so at least I had that to draw from. I don't think most people, not most, but a lot of people don't have that. And even if they do, good God, we're not being told that on
Yeah.
any front. We're being told, do you love freedom? Listen to Toby Keith. We got to bomb the shit out of these guys.
Yeah.
Our president actually said that. I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. And there you go.
What's your memory, Ben? Do you have one? Probably the same
I
war?
got a couple things. One thing I wanted to say, because you were talking about kids and like the influence on war and stuff, and it rang a bell for me. I heard this the other day. I think it was on a Joe Rogan podcast. This is legit. You can Google this. 77% of young Americans, the youth, are ineligible to serve in the military because primarily of their physical fitness.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
77%. You're telling me that less than a quarter of the population of our youth are even fit to serve in the military?
Yeah.
So, like,
Holy
if
cow.
the kids want to join, obviously there's a physical fitness test, and you can pass or fail it.
Yeah.
If you fail, you're out.
This goes on to say they're considered ineligible or untrainable due to being overweight, failing academic tests, or having a physical/mental health issue or criminal records.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot that goes into that, but that also gets into an interesting interview I heard talking about when the draft was taken away, and that's another like pillar that fell for the United States as far as having pride in your country, pride in yourself, pride in your community, because now you're being born into a world, into a country where you don't have to do shit. that's not on you. That's on somebody else. And the 77% number, well, that's just the manifestation of generation upon generation not giving a shit.
Yeah.
Not being held up to that bar, knowing that I can just be a fat fucking slob and not have to worry about going to war, defending my country, defending my family, giving a shit about my community.
Yeah.
And I know that's extrapolating it out quite a bit, and I'm just putting it in this little box here, but I think there is something to that. And once again, I'm saying I don't like war. I don't believe in war, but God damn it, I think young men should be ready to go to war. To defend what we have. I think it's worth defending.
Yeah, we should. Yeah. This goes on to say that in 2017, 29% of our youth was eligible. Now, in this number came from 2020, is 23%. So since then, it's probably worse. It's going downhill. It's crazy. It makes you think about the whole population, and like myself as an example, in my current physical, mental state, all the things that I have going on, if I was in my 20s, I would be eligible for military service.
Yeah.
And then I think 3/4 of the kids that are half my age are in worse shape than I am. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and I want to do as much as I can to help boys, help young men. And it's like this taboo thing. Like Jordan Peterson, I love that guy. He gets attacked every day for doing nothing more than just trying to help young men.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also a thing where it's just alarming when you hear those numbers, because you're further shifting all this, that 80-20 rule that applies to everything. It shouldn't apply to people being able to walk up a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be 20% of the population can walk up a flight of stairs.
Right.
There needs to be a limit to it, but I guess not. I don't know. I do. Once again, that's a tough subject, Ben.
It's wild. Anyway, back to war as a kid and stuff. What I remember is my grandfather was in the military, and he was a mechanic on B-52s, I think. But he was in Korea in that war, and full on war. I mean, on the ground.
Like fixing planes when they were coming in.
Yep. Preparing airplanes and doing all that kind of stuff, and really fighting battles. And in his family, his sister was a medic in Vietnam.
Oh wow! Gross.
What had experiences where was in tents and had the the Vietnamese soldiers rush their tents and have to shoot people with a pistol and all these kinds of things, right? So you hear about that kind of stuff. My grandpa never really talked about it, like most people don't, when they've been to war.
Yeah.
But that stuff goes on. You learned about it, whatever. And then I remember when Desert Storm kicked off, and I was at my grandparents' house, and I remember seeing it on TV. I remember that coming on and just watching all that unfold, and it just being surreal. But it was I guess this is what we do, This is how it goes.
Yeah.
And then watch that carry on for way too long. And then of course we had 9/11. Then we go to that battle goes and carries on for way too long. And now here we are today with this. But I wanted to kind of explore that because I wonder, what do you think our kids see? Our two older kids are adults, so they're seeing it as adults. We've got a 15-year-old at home. I'm really curious of what he sees. And then, you've got younger ones. What are they seeing? Or do they even know,
I don't think they know, and I think that's okay.
Yeah.
I can't even get my head around these geopolitics. And, is it good we're in Iran or not? Is it Israel? Good God.
But you knew we were at war. So you just said your dad did you a service by, by talking to you. Ozzy's was your age. So don't you think he's old enough to handle it?
More than anything.
And know just the basics. We're at war, dude.
Well, more than anything, you just pumped the brakes on us celebrating war, on me thinking that it was cool.
Yeah.
So if Ozzy's watching a cartoon and it's Desert Storm Leonardo kicking some ass, and in that space, in that regard, I will be like, hey, buddy, that's actually not heroic. He does not want to be there. Yeah, he's only there because he has to, to defend our beautiful nation.
Mm-hmm.
But even that gets muddled up now.
Right,
Like, do we
exactly.
really have to be there? Like, I can't even
Yeah.
tell him that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
I mean, but I get, I guess I feel like with the girls, we probably were able to do a better job of my whole thing with a lot of parenting is being the first one to tell them.
yeah.
And again, we were a little bit able to do that because they didn't have as much social media. Now he does. So he kind of found out kind of when we did, but he also was like, oh, we're at war. Yeah, dude. Like, we are, and had a little bit of a conversation. So he probably then 20 years, 40 years from now, be like, yeah, I found out about it on Instagram.
And at his age, like he's literally coming home and telling us things
Yeah.
Sure, of
about
course.
the war.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
he's
know
mean,
what I
him
mean?
and his friends are talking about it.
But he's like, oh yeah, we, like I remember when it first kicked off. I remember him walking in the living room, or whatever, and he's like, well, that's what happens when you kill your own people, And I was like, okay, that's part of it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But then you just start wondering, like, man, what?
That did open the door for the uprising.
Yeah.
Like,
what is he getting the whole picture?
But that's our job to talk about it.
Yeah. But how but what even is the whole picture?
Yeah, I was gonna say
Exactly. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's again,
No,
it goes
just-
back to having conversations.
And I
We
don't-
talk about that a lot.
I think a lot of people don't think about this or don't realize it until you go through it. You take a teenage boy, man, and that mentality, especially take a kid like that, like he would be in that 23%. He would be
Yeah, ready to go.
one of the quarters that's eligible.
Yeah.
He is so like fired up. Like, I mean, like just internally, like there's something going on with him internally that he can't control that says, let's fight, let's go kick people's ass.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's called testosterone.
Yeah.
Young men should have that.
And,
Yeah.
Right. And people have to think about that. Like, how do you rein that in? How do you wrangle that?
I don't think we should worry about that right now.
How do you
It's totally
how do you
flipped.
how do you point it into a direction to make it effective?
Yeah,
you
the
know what I'm
right
saying?
direction.
Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying suppress it. I'm not saying get rid of it. I'm just saying take it for what it is and how do you make it effective?
Yeah. Well, like I think you guys are spot on. We got to have a conversation about it, bring that awareness up. And I think it's a good thing that your boy's full of piss and vinegar. I wish more boys were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And let him fail. He'll figure it out.
For sure. Yeah.
Like
I just
okay.
really dislike this when we started with this, just like this glamorization of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like how cool this is. Like, oh my God, epic. Like, oh, look at that. Oh, it's so cool, so impressive. Look at that torpedo we launched. Look at all this cool shit we're doing. I mean,
Next time you catch him playing COD, Call of Duty, stand there for 30 seconds. He'll get shot in the back of the head. And then you can say, like, that's not really how it works. You don't get to regenerate. You don't get to regenerate. That is it. You are dead.
I think that the smart kids know that. I mean,
Sure.
Even at our age, we played games like,
Of course.
remember 007? Did you ever play that one?
I wasn't on that big train. The last video game that I played though in college was SOCOM. It was like the precursor to Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And that was one of the first ones where you could get the headset and get online on your PlayStation 2.
Yeah,
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
But actually talk to people across the globe and get on teams and do these military battles.
Yeah.
Basically capture the flag, but with bullets.
But for me, I guess what I'm getting at is like we had these, shoot 'em up games and all this kind of stuff, and we always knew like that's not real, like that.
Yeah, but again, it goes
that
back to
thought-
you guys grew up with real guns and also knew that a bullet kills. You shot animals, you hunted.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not saying-
I'm not saying that all kids knew. I'm
Okay,
just saying that
yes, you knew.
the way that we came up and the way that we're raising our kid, like they know that. They know that about those games. They know that's not real. They know this is just like entertainment.
Yeah, but exactly. It's still entertainment. It's still desensitizing.
Yeah.
Even myself, like
Again, it's desensitizing back to the Austin shooting. Like them being able to see that real people in distress, people giving CPR, chest compressions, like,
And maybe there's something. Maybe there's
ridiculous.
something to that. Maybe that
And was
does
that
need to
a-
be shown.
Was
I
that
don't know.
right
you can
on?
look at it both ways, but like,
And that was that a Muslim extremist that
Yeah.
just started to shoot up the place?
yes, at the
And-
bar. I
and
mean,
you-
an outside bar.
And you can hate the NRA and all those assholes and say like, their messaging's terrible, but it goes back to the only person that's going to stop a bad guy with a gun
Is someone else with a gun?
is a good guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's really hard to argue that. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole war thing, though, it just doesn't sit good with me. I understand that there's some things that we need to do, and again, some things that I don't understand that needs to happen. For our safety, for the betterment of
Humanity, the planet,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
prospering. I think I'll go back to it. I think women should be able to wear a swimsuit and not get murdered in the street for that. And I think gay people should be able to live their life without constant fear of being executed, and that's just perfectly legal.
the problem is with all of this is that's I don't believe that that's really why we're doing this.
I don't either. And I tried to make that
Yeah.
clear that
Yeah.
but the net positive that provides is like, that's what I'm saying. Like your multi big picture is evil eats itself and gets defeated by good. And by us cutting deals and securing oil and making a few more billionaires happy here in the States, we're setting millions and millions of people free. We're pushing humanity forward, and it's a byproduct of this stupid little minuscule getting a few people a few more bucks.
I feel like because it's a byproduct, it's not something that is for. It's not something that's permanent because it's not what the focus was. It's not what the intent was. So it's gonna be a side story, and it's gonna go away.
But
So then what are we trying to accomplish in the end?
make a few more billionaires. My fucking nephew needs to be a billionaire. I'm a billionaire. He should be too.
We've asked this a few different times
right.
today.
So, but
I mean,
there's no answer. So again,
Thought it was pretty clear.
it really, when it comes down to it, yeah. I mean, it's control.
Yeah.
It's we need oil. It's
I've heard that-
monetary markets, worldwide monetary things.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
heard the conspiracy theory that Iran's one of the big outliers as far as getting everybody on this digital currency so it can control your money. Iran was just in the way, and then finally it's like, all right, over.
Boom.
You're
Yeah.
done. You're
Yeah.
done. You didn't play ball. You're done. But even with, okay, let's say that's true. We're still setting human rights free. And Ben, when you're talking about intent, and I do believe Iran was on such a great path back in the 60s and 70s. And they had their flaws. They had corruption. We do too today. But they're on a much better path than what they were, just a few weeks ago. So you're talking about getting back to the way it used to be, or whatever, this actually could allow for so much good to happen. And even if it's just an opportunity for good to happen, I believe it's worth it. I think it's a net positive. And that's me not grandstanding for war, because I think war is ugly too.
yeah.
It's kind of complex, isn't it?
it is.
It's very and
Yeah,
I
it
guess
sounds like you can't decide, Andy, if you want to be at war or not. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I know what you're talking about.
This
It's just like
modern-
there is positives and
This
obviously
modern day
there's
warfare,
negatives.
I do like it better than what it used to be. I mean, what happened in Venezuela and what, for the most part, what happened in Iran a few days ago, that sends a clear message. Like, we don't need to drag this thing out. Like we have this technology in place where get on this digital, don't take those signals, and play by the ruls.
They're just going to out you.
Venezuela can happen to you.
Yeah.
just some numbers to kind of close it out, I guess. I found some of this interesting. Approval percentages from the American population. They show anywhere, depending on the poll, from 27% to 41% approve of what we're doing, the strikes in Iran and this joint military action. So, if you believe these polls, the majority of Americans don't like what we're doing. It could be a lot as far as like 75%, and it could be still the majority as far as like 60%.
Hey, I'm on board with all those people saying, release the files, release the files. Sorry, all we can do is bomb Iran for you. Like, I'm on board with that sentiment. I mean, we got it. Let's clean up our own backyard first.
And we've talked about, politics and partisan stuff here before a lot. Obviously, it's always intertwined. But if you split that up, these polls say anywhere from 65 to 90% of MAGA-aligned Republicans approve, while 78 to 89% of Democrats disapprove. So it kind of shows you where that split is. And I also hate, by the way, that like now all of a sudden we've got MAGA Republicans and also
just Republican
non-MAGA
Republicans.
Yeah, I mean,
now we have another group.
I don't know.
Okay,
God,
enough already with the words.
I don't know, but that too. Like, we probably need more than 2 parties. Maybe that's
yeah. I mean, the party thing is so played out. God.
Maybe this is the first step of actually getting a good actual Green Party or Independent Party, whatever. I don't know. Like,
And then
It's going to be called Independent Republican or Independent Democrat.
So
Ridiculous.
56 to 60% of Americans believe that this is going to become a long-term conflict, and they're opposed to sending ground troops in. So just gives you kind of a little feel for where the American public's at.
Yeah, I actually put a poll out on our News Channel Nebraska's YouTube channel. Let's check out that because
What'd you say?
I'll read it here, and
Okay.
then because I think it goes right in line. I forgot we put this out the day that it broke out. Let's see here. President Trump says the campaign against Iran could last 4 to 5 weeks. Do you think the U.S. should pursue a short, high-intensity campaign or seek an immediate ceasefire? 64% say immediate ceasefire and diplomacy. 25% say short, high-intensity campaign. 5% answered full-scale ground invasion. 6% say unsure. I always give them the out with the unsure.
Yeah.
So, only 5% of 42,000 people that voted are on board with a full-scale ground invasion. And about 90% want something short and immediate.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about all we got on that, man. This is going to continue to develop, obviously, over the next few weeks and potentially, I mean, who knows how long, right? Potentially the next few years. We hope not. But
it hit home in a hurry where the first 4 released names of Americans that died, that group in Kuwait, one of them was from Bellevue, Nebraska, Sergeant First Class Noah L. Tegens.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's sad. It sucks.
Yeah, and that was a drone attack, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, so once again, desensitizing stuff.
On that particular guy was a mechanic.
Yeah, and he was in Kuwait.
Yeah,
and
right,
Iran just like, well, you guys align with them, so we're just going to bomb you out.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild, man.
I had to stand up. This is taking too long. My hip hurts.
Okay, let's get the hip lady out of here so she can go get back to her recliner.
Get to
Stop.
Netflix.
Demon Hunters.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
Nah.
All right. We'll see you guys.
Peace.